It's low-key a good thing I'm a small channel. It's so much wrestling to keep up with, it's dang near impossible.
But let's talk about it.
So to be fair, we kind of glossing over Friday night, but that's not to go without saying that we do got a new pair of WWE Tag Team Champions. Tommaso Ciampa and of course Johnny Gargano. Super proud of those guys. They've been working their ass off for years. NXT, the main roster, back and forth. It looked like Hunter finally put on for his boys, and they was able to grab that brass ring. And towards the end of the show, you had Solo cut a fire promo that would, of course, be leading into Money in the Bank. So as we slide on over to the next night, we're starting the show off with the men's Money in the Bank match. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that my favorite in the match was the main event, Jey Uso. But if you haven't learned by now, I'm not really good at these predictions. So I was just going off my heart and soul, but Uso didn't get the job done. Now, shout out to all the players that was in this match. From Chad Gable to Andrade to Drew McIntyre. Melo took some crazy bumps. And of course, the megastar LA Knight. Yeah, all of those guys went to absolute war, put their bodies on the line, doing crazy spots. I think my favorite spot in the match is still stuck between either Drew McIntyre chucking the ladder like it was a spear, sorry dudes, or Chad Gable suplexing a ladder onto another person, because I've just never seen that before in my entire 20-something years of watching wrestling. However, as promised, that boy Drew McIntyre walked out with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and just like he told us, he did his best to follow up on the promise he made after that. Now, I am with everybody else on this one to say that I don't really think Sammy should have beat Braun as clean as he did. Been looking at it from the way that Sammy put it on Monday Night Raw, he is not the underdog anymore. It's time for us as fans and everybody in the locker room to stop counting Sami Zayn out every time he walks out to the ring. But the match in itself was brutal, it was hard-hitting, and it definitely showed that Braun Breaker is absolutely one of the future breakout stars in the industry and may possibly be the one that dethrones Sami Zayn by the end of his title reign. We can't go without addressing the retirement announcement from the one and only the GOAT, John Cena. Luckily, it does seem like we have about a full year into his actual last match, so I'll probably address it later at some other time in some other video. But all wishes gone well to the absolute legend. He's been putting on for us for the past 20 years or whatever the case. He was top dog, the head of the table, if you will, running the show for the better part of a decade. So nothing but hustle, loyalty, and respect goes out to Cena, and I'm excited to see what this last run of such a legendary character and a legendary performer is going to be. Then we have our World Championship match where Damian Priest takes on the boy Steph freaking Rollins. These two go out there and have an amazing performance, doing a bunch of athletic-ish that I can't do. And I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. We all saw it with DP didn't necessarily kick out. Even I'm sitting there watching the match with my girl and I'm like, yo, am I tripping? Have I been drinking too much? Because I swear bro did not kick out. As all has been speculated, it might have been a production error, it might have been an error by Damian Priest, it might have just been a miscommunication between all parties. I've personally never been in a ring trying to call a match in front of 10,000, 20,000 fans with millions watching at home and a championship on the line. So either way, I'm not one to badmouth anybody that had anything to do with that match because they was doing stuff that I just simply can't do. While it might have slowed down momentum for a second, the match kept rolling and eventually we heard the music of the boy Drew McIntyre. And as he promised us earlier, he went for that cash in. However, this time it did not work out. Because who was waiting under the ring? CM Punk. So CM Punk goes on to put the beats on Drew McIntyre. I mean, chairs, championship titles to the face, it was nasty. In the mix of all this, DP see his moment, he take it, 1, 2, 3, he walks out still World Heavyweight Champion. Mr. Monday Night Rollins wasn't feeling that, so he walked over to the announcement table, started pressing CM Punk, and we knew it was going to be a problem later. And we move on to the ladies for their Money in the Bank ladder match. It was low-key my favorite match of the night. Yeah, I've been seeing the opinions out there saying that the match was sloppy and so on and so forth. Nothing but absolute respect to all the ladies that was in that match doing a bunch of crazy spots. Yes, some stuff did look dangerous, but it's a ladder match, a 6-person ladder match. Of course it's going to be an absolute car wreck. I'm just happy everybody in the match is safe. Zoe Stark took some absolutely horrific bumps. I mean, really all the ladies in the match went out there to prove that they can do just as good as the guys, if not better. Chelsea Green was a joy to watch in the match. I was loving the whole scared of heights gimmick, especially when she tried to jump to grab the briefcase. That was absolutely hilarious. Io Sky, who in my opinion is the best women's wrestler on the roster, if not on the planet at this point, continues to prove why she is the epitome of ring work. And then of course Naomi training, you know what I'm saying, family for life. Once again, showed why she is, if not the most, one of the most athletic women on the roster. It all boils down to it. Miss Money in the Bank ended up being none other than Tiffany Stratton. It is Tiffy time. I think the dynamic between her and Queen Nia Jax is going to be absolutely awesome as they try to build like the friendship storyline, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna be telling Nia, oh, don't worry about it, I'm gonna be going for the other women's champion, And last but not least, the main event, that boy Cody Rhodes, Randall Keith Orton, and Canada's own Kevin Owens step out there against Solo and his new version of the Bloodline. Of course, they had Tama Tonga rolling with him, who's been showing he's kind of like the workhorse of this new Bloodline. He's the one getting out there, frontlining it every time. And we have the debut of the one and only Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, looking absolutely dangerous for most of the match. And these six go out there and brawl. I mean, straight squabbling. You can see the emotion in Kevin Owens knowing the backstory of what he got going on in his real life right now. Even when we get into the beginning of the match, honestly, I love the character work between Kevin Owens and Jacob Fatu as they were just staring each other down, waiting to rip each other apart. The big fight feel definitely got amped up once those two were staring face to face. However, the new Bloodline trio was able to handle their business and do what they needed to do in convincing and dominating fashion. I mean, straight violence, really. And Jacob definitely showed himself as the new enforcer of this Bloodline. I can't wait to see what they do with him on a singles tip, as far as just how he's going to be performing when he's in his singles matches. But for a debut in a main event match, he definitely did everything he could do to get his time in without taking too much away from his brothers. And of course, all the baby faces looked great, but they were just getting their ass whooped, which they needed to in order to put over this new Bloodline as a faction that we could truly believe in is dangerous. The pay-per-view ends with Jacob propping up Cody and Solo hitting him with that Samoan spike and laying him out, getting the 1, 2, 3. Trying to put Solo over as super dominant before we get to this all but confirmed SummerSlam match between him and Cody for the championship. Overall, thought it was a great PLE. Thought it was a very fun couple of matches. And they set up a lot of storylines to lead us through these next couple of weeks as we get ready for the party of the summer, SummerSlam. If you made it with me this far, I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what was your favorite part of Money in the Bank. And what's happening later.